This week on the Digital Coffee, Twitter launches its version of stories, which it's calling Fleets. Instagram launches its version of Pinterest, which it is calling Guides. And Instagram is also trying this new thing called keyword search, so it'll be easier to find posts. All that and more after this. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb, and if you're watching on Facebook, hello, say hello. I'm having a problem loading my comments at the moment. And if you are on YouTube, please say hello. If I'm a little bit fuzzy today, that's because just prior to this broadcast, and one of the reasons you can see all this in the side, is my builder came in and switched the electricity off. So I'm just going to try and realign. Look at me moving around on the screen. And that meant I lost my internet, and that means I am working off my iPhone internet. So hopefully I'm broadcasting okay. I cannot currently see your comments and reactions, which is a little bit sad. Anyway, if you are watching on Facebook and you leave a comment, you will get a copy of the Digital Coffee newspaper. So you'll be able to go and read these stories in your own time. And you'll also get the opportunity to sign up for a reminder for next week's show. I don't have that available on YouTube yet, but hopefully sometime in the future I am. So I do have a question of the week. I'm really disappointed I can't see your comments though. I'm wondering, is there some way I can make that happen? Let me just quit comments and try and come in again. If you're leaving comments, hello, I'm going to come and answer you afterwards. Right, we got lots of news stories for you today. So let's move on with that.
Hey, it's Andy at Content Cal here, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
One of the things that is so great about stories, I think, is that when you click on a story, you are able to get into this whole immersive experience. It takes over your whole screen. So as us posting stories, it is the way to grab the entire attention of our audience. Yes, I know they can swipe on and watch the next one, but if you do a good story, hopefully that won't happen. And for Twitter, there's another problem. The problem Twitter have is they have all these users, and so many of them just don't tweet. So it makes sense, perhaps, for them to introduce stories. Could that be the thing that will get more people creating content? So they're here. If you've been on Twitter, you will have seen them. Do let me know if you have fleets yet. I just got them this morning. So when you log in, it looks like Instagram. There are all these little circles at the top. It's very, very familiar. And you can create photos, videos, text. You can also share tweets from your feed and leave your reactions to that. They stay for 24 hours. So again, same as Instagram. And I think Twitter because it stays there for less time, that people will be more likely to use it. It's not like somebody's going to find something that you put on a fleet 10 years ago and say, hey, that's inappropriate. So I think that's one of the benefits here. You can also reply to fleets, and when you do that, it sends us a direct message, just like it does on Instagram. They did have a few issues initially, so they slowed down the rollout, but I'm imagining if I got it this morning, I'm not top of their list to get this new tool to. I'm guessing that we'll all have it soon. So I do think, stories is a way that we are going to be communicating on social media more and more into the future. So it makes sense for Twitter to have it. It also is nice to see Twitter innovating. For years and years, we were just the same. It was just this text update with little bit of... Now and then they'd add something new, like they'd start showing you images in your feed. I mean, it has been quite slow to innovate. So I think this could be effective. You'll see people falling both ways on Twitter. Some people loving it, some people hating it. I'm so delighted I can see a comment. So So Roy has a comment. I have fleeted. I'm not sure anyone has read them. You should be able to see who's read your fleet when you, I think it's swiping up just like Instagram. It'll feel very similar if you have used Instagram before. And now I know that my comments are working. Let me ask you the question of the week. I still can't see the one that I would normally put up, but I want to know, and I'd love to know now because it's relevant to the next story as well as being relevant to a story near the end. And that is, how do you prefer to consume content? I'm not talking about text content, but these two things, which do you prefer? Do you prefer video or do you prefer audio content? So do you like listening to podcasts? Do you prefer looking at video, or do you do a bit of both? I'd love to know your answer to that question, and it is related to a couple of the news stories today. Good morning to Kate. I'm sorry if you have been commenting earlier. They're just beginning to come through now, and I know they're not all there. If you're on YouTube, do let me know as well, because I'd love to see some new YouTube newbies. Kate is saying her preference is for audio. I'm a bit of both, I have to say. Obviously, I've just launched a YouTube channel, a new one. You may be watching on that. So I've been watching a lot of videos, and I really do enjoy the craft of video. I like it. I love movies. I love watching the TV. So I enjoy videos when they are a bit creative. But I also love listening to podcasts because you can do other things while you're listening to a podcast, which will bring me into my next story.
Hi, I'm Kyra Fingleton from Glamping Under the Stars, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Earlier this year, there was a new social networking app, which you've probably never heard of. I had never heard of, called Clubhouse. And Clubhouse was an audio social network. It was where you could have audio conversations with other people, and nobody could get in there. It was like an exclusive club. There were celebrities in there using it. One of the people that was using it and all over it when it launched and when it got big amongst those celebrities earlier this year was Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter. And he's stolen the idea. He has stolen the idea of Clubhouse and added it to Twitter. This will be part of Fleets when it's fully rolled out. And what it is basically a bit like Facebook Rooms or a bit like a group Zoom call, except it's all audio. This is what it's going to look like. You will see if somebody has an active audio space, which is what they're calling them, because on their fleet, there'll be a little purple circle around it, and you'll be able to click that to join the audio conversation. You'll be able to set up your own audio space as well, and other people can join in. Now, there are advantages, I think, of using it this way. So firstly, you don't have to do your hair. Do you know how long I spend doing my hair before this broadcast every week? People who know me know that in real life, when I'm off duty, my hair isn't good. You don't have to worry if you're making eye contact with the people that you are talking to. And that's a conversation I have with a lot of people when I'm training the video. It's like, how can you make eye contact? Are you supposed to look at the camera? You don't have to worry about that with audio. So there's advantages there. The third advantage is that you can do other stuff when you're on an audio call. You can actually go away and make a cup of tea and keep listening to the audio call, and you're not missing a thing. So I think this could be quite big, and I'm imagining it's going to be used, maybe for interviews, a bit like a podcast perhaps, except other people are going to be able to join in. I'm not sure it's how it's going to work, that people won't speak over each other, but I'm sure we'll find that out when it's fully launched. The one concern I have is that when Twitter launched their audio tweets, they took them down almost immediately because of accessibility issues. That, people who were unable to hear weren't provided subtitles, and subtitles are pretty important if you're doing video or audio. And I'm wondering, are they addressing that with the audio spaces before they launch it? Are they going to add some sort of auto captioning so that it is easy for everyone to participate? I can't wait to give it a go, to be honest. I like the idea that I won't need to do my hair and makeup. If you are watching, you may leave a comment. You may tell me which sort of content you prefer. Is it video? Is it audio? I may be missing some of your comments because basically the builder switched off all the electricity 2 minutes before my show. So yeah, running off my phone internet right now, and everything kind of went a little bit wrong for a few seconds. So let me know that. Or if you don't want to tell me that, because remember, you do get a copy of the Digital Coffee newspaper if you leave a comment. Tell me what you're drinking. Is it tea? Is it coffee? Is it something else? Or the final thing that you could tell me is just say hello. Just say hello. And if you're watching on YouTube in particularly, I'd like to know that you're watching on YouTube so that I can see, well, I can go and see that information afterwards.
Hello, this is Rob Charles, the voice of Mike on Forever FM on Peter Kay's Car Share. BAFTA award winning, I've got to say, but I've not seen the BAFTA yet. Anyway, you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Enjoy. I'm on tea.
I'm always cutting him off. Are you the go-to person for your business? Are you just like a fountain of knowledge about all these things? Do you like helping people out? Well, if that is so, the new Insta guides could be for you. They're basically Pinterest boards, but what you can do with them is you can put together a collection of maybe your own posts. So this could be handy if you want to categorize your posts. If you post about different things on your Instagram account, you could separate them out into different categories. You can add a collection of places. So if you were in the hospitality business, perhaps you could think of yourself as a concierge who's showing people around the area, and these are the particular places that you should visit. You could, or if you're a travel blogger, that would be great because you could tell people where they need to go. You can put together a guide on products. So for influencers and creators, you could help showcase the brands that you work with. Would also be a really good way to put together a Christmas list to hint at the people that are buying you gifts. I think it could be quite powerful. I also think you could maybe bring together all the people that you admire on Instagram. It would be a good way to give shout outs to people. So there's lots of ways this can be used. I think the downside is I'm not sure how many people are going to see your guides, because if somebody wants to see your guides, they have to go to your profile, they have to click on the guides tab, and that's where they will find them. There is going to be some amount of discoverability. Apparently they'll appear in the explore tab. But at the moment, there's no way to link them out of your feed or link them out of your stories, as far as I know. So it is an interesting concept, totally stolen, have to say, from Pinterest. So it's almost like Instagram is just becoming this incredibly complex network. It's just basically doing what Facebook does, which is steal ideas from other people. Hello, I have some other people commenting now. I'm sorry if I missed any of your comments earlier. Good morning. Kathleen is making tea or coffee, Kathleen. Her kettle is boiling while she's watching me on Facebook. Sylvia is having turmeric tea with Wexford honey. You know, I must try. I know these. I actually want to try the turmeric latte things. I just like the idea of a yellow latte. I don't know why. I must try it out. Tell me about the benefits, Sylvia. Might be convinced. Good morning to Nicole, who is saying hello with a cup of coffee. Great to see you here, Nicole. Thank you for watching.
Hi, I'm Lee from Wellshot, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Cheers.
Instagram search is pretty pants, isn't it? I mean, if you want to find posts on a specific topic, the only thing you can search for is a hashtag, and goodness knows people just use hashtags badly. You can search for people and you can search for places, and that's it, which limits you really, both as a user to find what you want and the discoverability of your content as a creator. You know, we can go all in on hashtags and somebody may never search the right hashtag, or you'll get lost in a hashtag search. And interestingly, Instagram is working on introducing keyword searching. So that's a bit like what we would see on Google, what we would see on YouTube. You can search for a specific phrase, and I think this is baking recipes or something's too small on the screen for me to see, and it will bring up posts related to that keyword, which I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't have to go and just rely on a bunch of hashtags to make my posts found. Now I could actually think about creating a caption that goes with my post that is keyword rich. So it will help people bring it there, and also sells my image or my video that I'm posting there a lot more. So I do like the idea of this. Do wonder, are they phasing out the importance of hashtags? And it also means that we're going to be able to do some keyword research and maybe make our posts more relevant for those search results. I'm excited, but not too excited, because this isn't going to be like Google. This isn't going to be, you're going to be able to find a long tail keyword and rank for it. This is very basic at the moment. They're going to be topic based. You're not going to get niche keywords popping up. So it is in its early stages, but I am excited to see how this progresses, because I think it's far more natural and relevant if people can find you that way, rather than you just bunging a load of hashtags on everything. Good morning. Nicole is watching on Facebook and she has a cup of coffee. Great stuff. Good morning to Kerry, who's telling me that turmeric is good for your health, reduces inflammation, and it's great for my skin. Maybe I should try it out. Wendy, good morning. Keyword search. I know, and you love it about TikTok search. I did not know that TikTok already had this. Now it makes sense why Instagram might do it, right? So we're just saying she's watching on Facebook. I think everyone is watching on Facebook today, but if you are watching on YouTube, please do let me know. My YouTube channel is properly launched now, so every Tuesday at 6 p.m. you're going to get a digital marketing lesson. So even if you're not watching on YouTube now, make sure you go and subscribe and click the bell there, because I'm hoping my content will be entertaining and educational for you.
This is May King from The FOMO Creator, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Facebook ads, and therefore Instagram ads, are amazing because they have so much data. We know that. But they don't just collect data on Facebook. They collect data from across the internet. They're able to do that because we have pixels on our websites. There's a thing called SDK, which is like the pixel, but it goes on apps. And you'll notice this. You'll be on a website and you'll search for something like pajamas. And then the next time you log in to Facebook, there will be ads for pajamas. And I do kind of like that, because it means at least I'm seeing ads for things that I might want. But hey, I can actually go and search the internet myself and find pajamas that I want to buy. So, I'm not sure. Maybe I would have bought them already. I don't know, but it's kind of handy. But there's becoming a problem with this, because there's new browsers being launched, a new iPhone that basically eliminates cookies. So Facebook aren't able to find that information out about you. And you may remember that, I think it was last year, Facebook introduced a thing where you could stop third-party data being collected. And they just launched this on Instagram as well. So this is what it looks like. You will find it from your profile, under settings, under ads. And here you can switch off the third-party data collection. Interestingly, both for Facebook and Instagram in one place. Now, this could, and I talk about it a lot, this is going to make marketing a lot harder in the future, because we won't be able to retarget people who visit our website. Our pixels will become pretty useless. But I think there's a bigger implication maybe for the world, and that is the way that Facebook is reacting to this stuff being taken away from them. Is they're launching things like shops, paid events, all these things that will just keep you on Facebook, so they can actually collect all the same data, but it will be on Facebook and you're willingly giving it to them. And it just makes this walled part of the internet. Oh, that was interesting. It makes this walled part of the internet where it'll only be Facebook. There won't be this free and wonderful internet space, and so many more people are going to start using that. So I know I've said it a million times, but if you are using Facebook Shop or Facebook tools, please still use a website, still participate in the rest of the internet for the rest of the world. I think that's my rant over.
Hi, I'm Carmel Siri and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Another advantage of Facebook ads is that Facebook do know, even with all this stuff, they know about the behavior of their users on Facebook. So when you create an ad, you've got an option to optimize for specific actions. So you can optimize your ad for website clicks, for example. And if you do that, Facebook will show your ads to people that it knows click links on Facebook, right? So it's not going to bother showing it to people that never do. There's also one, and this is the story, where you could target people who you could optimize for messages. So you could, which would mean that Facebook would show it to people who frequently send messages to pages. That was up until earlier this week. And earlier this week, if you are in the EU or the UK or the whole European economic, it's EEU or something is what they call it, in any of those countries, and they're blaming GDPR for this, you will no longer be able to optimize for messages. But that's not it. You're not going to be able to optimize for messages. You can get around that because you can run a traffic campaign with a click to Messenger. So you can still run ads that open in Messenger. You won't be able to see if they're working. They're taking away the stats. You won't be able to see how many Messenger conversations you got as a result of your ad. And even worse, you won't be able to see how many complaints you got as a result of your ad, which means you have to totally tweak your ad. So that's a bit. You also won't be able to. Also, listen to how shocked I am. You also won't be able to create custom audiences. So you won't be able to create a custom audience or a lookalike audience because from people who have messaged you on Facebook. So this is pretty huge. You know, I'm running messenger campaigns for a client at the moment, and we're just going to have to see how the new ones do. It's going to mean a lot more me. Oh, how many messages do you get to see if my campaign is working? So it is annoying. They do say it's temporary, so we don't know how temporary it's going to be, but they do say it's temporary until maybe they come up with a better fix. They're blaming GDPR, as I said, and Facebook have a real issue with GDPR. That, you know, they did have a little hissy fit and say they were going to leave the EU because of some of the restrictions that were put on them. And I can see more stuff like this happening, which makes it harder for us as advertisers in Europe to work. The one good thing is, if you're targeting people in the United States or Australia or anywhere where GDPR isn't a thing, you should still be able to run ads, messenger ads to those people. So you need to create a separate campaign to do that. Annoying, huh?
Hi, I'm Carmel Siri and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
You know what? I always play Carmel twice, don't I? Completely by accident. Let's go again.
You're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
It seems odd, but YouTube, which we would think of as being a video network, a lot of users on YouTube just listen. So I suppose a lot of that is the music. You know, YouTube has always traditionally been a place where we'd listen to music. And now, of course, you can buy YouTube music. But also those long, maybe podcasty shows where it's just two people behind microphones. They're not visually interesting or exciting. People listen to those as well. And that's why YouTube as a network is going to launch audio ads. Audio ads. So audio ads, they will have a visual component, but they'd imagine that will just be a still image or an animated image, maybe a bit like when people promote podcasts. And this will be playing, I suppose, between music or during those shows, which they know people listen to more than watch. What's interesting about this is if you're an advertiser on YouTube, you're going to have to learn a new skill set. You've been optimizing and optimizing and optimizing for all the visual aspects that Google will tell you work on YouTube, but now it's all about the sound. So that's a whole new thing. How do you capture people with sound? You're going to have to start looking at the way that radio ads work. How is this going to work for you? And that's the reason I want to know what works best for you, audio content or video content. Lots of comments here that I've been ignoring. Sorry. Wendy says that TikTok search tells you when people look at what people are looking for rather than the hashtags that are most popular. That's really interesting to know. Kerry is going to send me a turmeric tea recipe, or is it coffee or latte? I will try it. Kerry, you do that. I will try it. And that's annoying when you purchase an item and you keep seeing it over and over. And yes, everything's making noises here. I hope I'm still online. And yes, that is annoying. And really, if you're running ads, you need to exclude people who've already purchased. But actually, now with the way that pixels and cookies are, you may not be able to know that you've already purchased. Okay, sorry for a bit haphazard show due to the internet being, I was so prepared this week, so prepared. Hopefully you can all see me and hear me properly. Hopefully there's some people watching on YouTube. We'll be back to a more normal show, same time next week. Same bat, I can't even say my outro properly. Same bat time, same bat place next week. And once again, thank you to Riley Johnson for my outro.